Another week has gone by, and the simple lifetime continues forward for me through all things IT and professional wrestling. Welcome back once again to the second episode. This is a Simple Man Stance. Let's freaking go. Hello, everybody, and welcome back once again to this new little forum I've created just for fun and just for simple matters. Welcome once again back to A Simple Man's Stance, episode 2. Thank you for those that tuned into the first one, and to Chris that sent his well wishes to me. Again, it's good to be back. I feel a whole lot better. I've continued to feel better, and I hope that everyone is feeling all right in and out of their wrestling fandom and in and out of life. Literally just came back from Walmart and spoke to a longtime friend of electronics who was going through some hard times. We all face depression, but we're never alone in what we feel might be our own wallowing sorrow. So never feel that the world is beating you to the point of no return, because there's always a way to make a comeback. It's truly as simple as that in context. But at the end of the day, you are your own worst critic, and you have to overcome whatever may ail you. Anyway, welcome back to A Simple Man's Stance. I am, of course, the Simple Man, Noah Foster, forever great professional wrestling. Damn it, as I welcome you in on this pre-recorded episode that I'm recording Saturday, 3:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on April the 12th, as we are just on the verge of WrestleMania week, and we have now gone past AEW Dynasty, and we just also saw history with Hiroshi Tanahashi's final match in America. So I kind of just want to take this episode to give a few simple takeaways from what we just witnessed. But before that, here is once again where you may stand in all my simple leagues on the leaderboards outside All Elite Wrestling. That will be updated after WrestleMania weekend concludes. And of course, stay tuned, because this week the NXT League and the WWE League will be in play. TNA still figured about between Unbreakable and Rebellion being back-to-back weeks. But in the meantime, how well are you doing simply predicting? Let's go ahead and have a look, shall we? Where do you stand amongst the leaderboards currently across all the leagues in City Predicting? Are you doing well? Have you told a friend? Have you participated for the first time? Are you going to continue to, as we're on the biggest week of the wrestling year so far? I look forward to seeing you in and out of the leagues or in and out of the panels. It's simply predicting. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about what's happened this last week, shall we? Across the major things, across all things wrestling. As of course, we are coming off, like I said, AEW Dynasty. It was a great 10-match showcase. Anthony Bowens may return. We saw Mercedes Moné, Will Ospreay, and Kyle Fletcher advance in the Owen. We have a new Revival World Champion under a timeless classic where Rocky actually won, as timeless Tony Storm just survived the Megasis. what already is one of my match of the year candidates. We saw Ricochet, Kenny Bagano, Omega, and Speedo My Billy have a triple threat classic. And Adam Cole, after overcoming so much physical and mental turmoil, is finally a singles champion in wrestling, the new TNT champion. And in the biggest swerve, pun intended, Swerve Strickland unfortunately did not beat John Moxley, so the Death Rise campaign continues, but now looks like he's going buck hunting. And it may involve blood and guts rather soon. But overall, for AEW Dynasty, for a show that's not, the original like four, it really has come into its own. And it was quite a phenomenal night of professional wrestling. I highly encourage you all to go check out some of the highlights from it or go watch our call with me and Walter. And I gotta say, I had a really fun time with that. If I was to give one major takeaway, besides the whole angle on taking out Cole and FTR finally going to business for themselves as heels, top guys out, I think each match definitely felt different. I think Julia Hart had one of her best matches to date, and Mercedes Moné, bell to bell, she really does bring out the best of the AEW Women's Division, especially the young and inexperienced. And Julia Hart, one of the originals of AEW, built character, of course. She hung very strong with the CEO to the point it was almost like Moné desperately got her in a pinning combination. Couldn't submit her, couldn't hit her with the Moné maker. Julia Hart gave her a run for her money. So I think Julia Hart was definitely my wrestler of the night for the women when it came to absolute level of competition. We want to talk about dominance, though. The Mega Sister, force to be reckoned with. Cares what she brings to Collision. And again, Kenny Omega with Speed on My Billy. I need that one-on-one, but Ricochet and the capability, it was just a really fun night of professional wrestling. As Chris Jericho for now has gone away, and it seems like the learning tree is finally dead or chopped at the roots. Who knows? Well, I guess time will truly tell. But overall, I thought AW Dynasty was a phenomenal show. Anyway, I'm not one to read into reports or Meltzer ratings or even rate stuff myself. But you guys know, if you don't know by now, I am a connoisseur of all things professional wrestling. All the companies, the small, the big, the indifferent, the foreign, the common, the domestic, the international, you name it. And of course, I pride myself on the Japanese disciplines of strong style, King's Road, and of course, Fighting Spirit, which Stardom's biggest show coming up, their spring supercard, of course, of Queendom at April 27th, where one person's career will end, either Tam Nakano or Saya Kamatani. Can't believe I just said that. But here's a different thing I want to try, because I do feel like that for those that follow Silver Studios, shout out to my partner, Walter Cruz, super reliable, we may have, changed things up. We're going to give you a top 20 for April. Lord help us. But before I talk a little bit about Hiroshi Tanahashi's final road of kinship in America and talk a little bit about what happened literally last night at Windy City Riot, I want to do something a little different. I'm going to show you guys in no particular order or no particular ranking, because I really don't do that. You know how I sometimes love to say when I reach that out of body experience of a passion, that's professional wrestling. Damn it. Well, here are 7 matches that I classified from March worthy of that to recommend to anybody that is not or is a professional wrestling fan and maybe wants to look at the scope of the business. For the first time in Simple Man Stands history, check out this Simple Man's 7 professional wrestling matches. Damn it. Truly, March gave us some remarkable moments and matches to remember across the entire business. But when I looked at AEW, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Stardom, and WWE for that matter, and NXT, those are seven matches that first come to my mind that stick out the most. And if I were to pick one above all the others, this literally being a conclusion to a phenomenal trilogy, arguably the best story in women's wrestling since I can last remember. I highly recommend and encourage this above everything else, with this being second. Again, I love professional wrestling. I'm an advocate for women's wrestling more than any other foundation. And the glamour. Mariah May and Timeless Tony Storm gave me a bloody, barbaric, cinematic, dramatic, emotionally theatrical masterpiece of a conclusion to their trilogy. And who knows when the glamour may rise from hell again? Maybe tonight in Collision? We'll see. Speaking of course, right now, this is Saturday, April 12th. The Collision, of course, will continue the on as we have Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks 2, where we also have Brody King versus Konosuke Takeshita, and we also have Harley Cameron versus Athena. Of course, the winner of Harley Cameron versus Athena will take on Mercedes Monet, and the winner of Jamie Hayter and Billy Starks will take on Chris Statlander, who beat Mary Thunder Rosa in a very game bout on Wednesday Night Dynamite. I am loving both of these Owen tournaments so far and how they're looking. And the idea of Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander excites me so much. But Billy Starks could surprise us because I do think when you think about the glamour coming back, I think the glamour I May wants to bring something out of Jamie Hayter. That's probably why she didn't have her facing for the title or didn't think about her facing her when she was the women's champion in the first place. Maybe she wants Ginger Snap to go away and wants that Pro Wrestling Eve, Renegade, Silver and Pink, Rock and Raging Hater to make way and wreck shop in AEW. So that's just one of those things that goes in my head, but I'm a hater for life. So I met her for Pete's sake. So I'm definitely going with Jamie Hater tonight, and that's the match I'm most looking forward to on Collision. Anyway, as we, of course, proceed closer to WrestleMania, which is literally 1 week from today, a lot's ahead, WrestleMania week. But before that, we, of course, last night celebrated the last match here in America for the ace of New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi, as we covered Windy City Riot last night. And a phenomenal and honorable night with you, Walter Cruz. It was an absolute pleasure. We also saw a brand new Strawboy champion crown after nearly a year of the title held by Gabe Kidd. Tomoshi E survived the War Dog in sudden death, finally taking him down with a Vertigo Drop Brainbuster. And for the first time in over 2 years, Tomoshi E is once again a singles champion with a title that is just as predominant with its symbolism of strong spirit as, of course, he raised the Vibe of the Never Openweight Championship. So congrats to my boy, Tomohiro Ishii. Asume Mina Shirakawa ended in a double countout, so now both of them will take on Mercedes Moné at Resurgence for the Never Too Strong Women's Championship. We also saw Zack Sabre Jr. get his win back against David Finlay with two Zack drivers. I know one person, our Canadian friend, Ash, is a very happy bat. Please subscribe today. Batty for Wrestling. Link in the description down below. And subscribe to Rage of Wrestling as well. But it's also one of those things where, again, there was so much fun last night in Chicago, ruckus environment. And of course, Hiroki Goto continues to make history, and his revolution goes global as he overcame Shota Umino. But you gotta wonder where Umino's head is right now, losing another big opportunity. We're looking at his second chapter, brought new purpose to light for him after beating Tanahashi at Sakura Genesis. With another major loss, and we're on the road to Dontaku, which leads to Dominion, which leads to G1 Climax. You gotta wonder if Shota Umino is even going to be part of the conversation in any of that. So we'll have to see soon enough. But congrats to Hiroki Goto, who may not speak English, but still loves us. And we know the G for now in IWGP stands for Goto as the revolution continues. And of course, the most important moment of last night was celebrating and honoring the ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi, for his last match in America, where it felt so much more closure for his opponent in the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita, who finally feels like he can say to the ace, am I part of the conversation now? And the ace will say yes. I think respect was earned and closure was found with a predominating closing stretch of power drive knee strikes into finally a raging fire where the Alpha felt he literally unleashed 12 plus years of pent up frustration, not only for him, but for DDT Pro that he felt Tanahashi disrespected back in 2014. As he got the win, left the ace the ring, and everybody, of course, celebrated Tanahashi as we all say we love him, and he says he loves us. New Japan is in good hands with this incredible roster, for he is president, But come January 4th next year, Wrestling 20, he will be finished in ring. A very phenomenal, emotionally driven, high octane, strong style night, as I only would expect from the NJPW of America brand and NJPW Strong. So I really enjoyed this show last night, and I think there's a lot of takeaways that anybody who's a wrestling fan can take from that. And again, the Alpha right now, he's on another level. The future's extremely bright for our neverweight champion, Konosuke Takeshita. For those who are wondering why I didn't have those Sakura Genesis matches as far as the actual show itself, further beyond the count. Again, I only did 7 for a reason. I like to look at all things. I also want to give a shout out to Mina Shirakawa, who's coming here to America. Sounds like she's going to be signing with AEW. She just had her last match in Stardom. So those are just some simple takeaways, thoughts, and just some fun that I really give when it comes to appreciating wrestling after watching both AEW Dynasty on Sunday and Windy City Riot on Friday nights. This is a simple forum where I just kind of engage you and give you a positive outlook on my life and things in wrestling as well. I think I might even start doing like maybe a Q&A. So if people want to leave questions in the chat and maybe we'd like them answer, whether it's wrestling or something silly, go for it. I encourage you to go leave a comment down below. What have you watched recently in wrestling? What have you watched? What have you played maybe? Because I'm still a gamer. I like the game as well, but I ain't gaming as much right now because prayers over passions. And also with WrestleMania week coming up, I'm going to have to focus on all the wrestling that I can handle, which is quite a lot if you haven't figured it out. Speaking of, as I keep talking about WrestleMania week that's ahead, let me go ahead and give you a brief commercial break as I show you this trailer for what I and my friends in the Super Studios are going to be doing during WrestleMania week. Here is our WrestleMania week plan. Check this out.
And now for a taste of things to come.
And truly, we can once again say this year it remains the same. The simple fact and statement that WrestleMania week celebrates, encompasses, and showcases all the wrestling. And welcome back once again to A Simple Man's Stance. As again, we are 1 week out from WrestleMania 41, Night 1. But of course, I'm going to be part of many of those calls that you saw. The biggest call of the week, of course, being me and JJ once again calling WrestleMania in its entirety. But for me, it doesn't just come down to watch alongs. It comes also with predicting, not only leading and noting prediction leads for no DQ, including some people that are far less than professional, but also hosting prediction panels too. And I have a trifecta ahead of me so far when it comes to simply predicting. So please stay tuned for me and my friends to discuss WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, and NXT Stand Deliver on 3 respective Simply Predicting panels. And of course, those are always live. So stay tuned to Simple Man's brand and Simply Reliable Studios for what we are going to simply predict each night. Monday night will be Night 1 in its entirety. Tuesday night will be Night 2, and Thursday afternoon will be Stand and Deliver because for other passions and my work schedule. And this is kind of giving you a basic outlook of what the entire WrestleMania week, to a degree, is going to look like simply for me, as I will be on the call of probably all of these shows that you see are engaging in them somehow, and that's not even everything. Want to give a shout out to AEW that will break through beyond the record of WCW celebrating with Spring Breakthrough AW Dynamite this coming Wednesday night. Congratulations to All Elite Wrestling, the incredible roster of men and women that made it possible. For wrestling only is as strong as its workers, not necessarily the booker, even if he supports them with a paycheck and some good ideas. And I'm going to give Triple H credit with the creativity and his storytelling and the chances that he takes, as Kevin Owens talked about during the Chris Van Vliet podcast. But I digress. Anyway, speaking of, I wanted to take this moment real quick before I conclude this episode to give my deepest condolences, well wishes, support, and thank yous to Kevin Owens, who, of course, now is out of WrestleMania due to debilitating neck injury and will require surgery. We saw it put the Radar superstar almost out permanently. And for the 25-year veteran from Canada who's given us absolutely everything and doesn't take it for granted how much is as given for him and his family, I wish Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, nothing but the absolute best on his road to recovery in providing what he loves to do for us as fans, but more importantly, what he needs to do to continue the ongoing efforts that he does as a family man. So to Kevin Owens, all the best. Well, I think for now, with this pre-recording, I will bid this episode a brief conclusion versus last time because I don't have much more to say. Again, stay tuned tonight. There's a whole lot ahead this next week. You saw the rest of my trailer, and also with No DQ. Say, the No DQ as the grind for him truly begins with how many recaps and streams that he's doing. I'll of course be with Team No DQ both tonight and tomorrow night, simply predicting in a way WrestleMania night one, night two, respectfully. And there's also some karaoke nonsense, not in the shenanigans. Blech. I'll be playing Balatro again. By the way, if you haven't played Balatro, very fun poker roguelike. Really tells you how to manipulate a deck, whether you're playing with flushes, straights, or pairs. I just recently won a whole run with a deck of pairs where I made the pair my high hand, two cards the same. It's an interesting, unique roguelike in its own way that I didn't think I could find so much adaptability in, but also trickery and strategy. The freaking wall in the eye is the worst boss of any blinds, but I digress, and I'm just rambling on as I do sometimes. But anyway, that's all I gotta say for now. So again, what have you been celebrating, engaging in life and in wrestling? What are you excited for in wrestling or in gaming? Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything you would like me to cover or discuss in and out of wrestling, gaming, or just life? Let me know in the comments down below. But as always, I've kind of made this a standard with the Superman stance. I'm going to leave you all with this bit of positive reinforcement. Depression is an emotion that we all deal with. It is also a challenge we all have to find a way to overcome. So truly know in whatever you face, you are never not alone. Seek out those that love you and support you. Say a prayer. You'd be surprised how much power there is in that. And know that life always matters, no matter what you're going through or who not you may be going through it with. So again, know that you matter, know that life matters. Simple as that. Well, that's it for right now. As I bid you all fine adieu, I'm going to get some rest. I've had of having some fun and mischief, I'm sure, believe they, with no DQ. Sometimes those guys are more a bunch of yahoos than professionals, in my opinion. But I guess that's what happens when you're a professional wrestling fan who lets all opinions run wild. Brother, Aaron, you got to learn to get a bit more control. Shout out to Virtue, by the way, the No DQ review moderator, where Colin and sounds like Gino might be taking the seat in ways as well. And kudos to Colin, my brother from another mother in Cleveland, Ohio. Give him some prime cuts. Keep watching him work as the current moderator of No DQ, as it seems like Gino, Colin, and Virtue will all be duking it out to see who will be the moderator for the review after WrestleMania. Aaron, do Michael Cole one-on-one interviews. I would do it for you, but I don't know if I have time. It's better than the 3 hour pre-show bullshit that WrestleMania is going to give us on Saturday and Sunday. Just saying. Add more content to your channel. You can do it. But I digress. Anyway, folks, let's get ready. Let's get excited for the week that's ahead. That is WrestleMania. And again, thank you all for tuning in to this new little venture I'm doing called the Superman Stance. So until next time, as I leave you with, of course, who to promote, who to go to, who to basically, be aligned with and have some fun with here and out of YouTube, just like my friend Jeff motherfucking Meacham. Please give him a follow. He'll also be going to Rebellion. There you see his social medias. And I'll be playing the other friends here of the Super Bible Studios here momentarily. I thank you all once again for tuning in because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's about wrestling and a positive reinforcement in life. So with that being said, make a positive impact in life as much as you can and always try. And whether you're across the world or whether you're here right now in broad daylight, we know what's to come. So just in advance, have a good night. And thank you for tuning in once again to A Simple Man's Stance. I'll see you next Saturday. Maybe I am covering Stand and Deliver. Or maybe I'm not actually. That might be a good brief. Who knows? Have a good night, folks. I'm always ready for anything wrestling. Damn it.